Good afternoon, everyone. So, and no ice cream, and it's a big crowd. Wow. I'm impressed. I feel better about myself, at least for today. All right. Talk louder, correct? How's that? Like I'm ready to eat an ice cream cone, correct? Okay. So, we have a few guest speakers today, so that's going to limit the time having to listen to me drone on. So, good for that. Yes. Oh, too bad. Yes. I heard that, Pat Campen. I could tell your voice out of all these people. Okay, so let's get on to our agenda. First, mostly good things. Last year, as you recall, we had the resident satisfaction survey, the NPS score. Again, why NPS is so important, which means Net Promoter Score. Those scores go anywhere from minus 100 to plus 100. And last year, our Net Promoter Score, I believe, if I forget, was 84. Very, very high score, one of the highest in the country, second in all of human good. So thank you. That is a big deal for the community, especially to help to encourage new people to move in. We have some new guests today. I'm looking around. New guests. Where's new guests? Oh, there they are. All right. Sharon and Jack, right? Stand up. They're gonna pay for half the painting. So, no. See, once you come in, you have no rights at all. That's it. Yesterday we were recruiting you. Now you're staff. Anyway, so yeah, yes, you can have a choice if it's exactly like the colors as you go out this door. Then you can have any choice you want. Anyway, welcome. So, along with you're in the wrong spot, Ruth. Ruth's supposed to be over there. You're in Ruth's spot. All right. So anyway, we just had the team member appreciation or team member survey, and I'm very pleased to let you know that we had a score of almost 94%. So the team members beat you, just so you know. So next time, so we were again silver medalists, not gold. So we came in second in this. Bill, we're going to do you in about 25 minutes, okay? Well, your guest. At 3 o'clock, if you can get your guest. I don't even know. Why would I mean, some nameless, faceless place someplace else that we don't care about. It's a community in Boston called Spring House. So we don't really count it because it has less than 100 people. So, they've got a big asterisk next to their score. I'm very petty, can't you tell? Anyway, so we're second, Spring House in Boston, but they don't count because they're little, like 80 people. So anyhow, why does this matter? It matters because we have extremely low turnover rate, almost 7%. I was discussing this with the Family Foster Foundation. Don't forget to give to the Family Foster Foundation Foster Family Foundation, which helps to support our team members going to school. So we've only hired one nurse in a year, which most people are hiring nurses and aides and everything every single week. Why? Because we compensate highly. We have a positive work environment. We show appreciation in many of ways, which I'll talk about in a little while. Also, the team member appreciation fund, which is a big deal. Anyway, all those things matter because having a consistent staff saves you money. Saves you a great deal of money. You get better care, better services. You get to know the people. You have interpersonal relationships that are strong and make you feel good. Business-wise, the cost to turn over one nurse is almost $100,000. The cost to turn over a director of nurses is somewhere in $200,000. The cost to turn over an aide is $30,000. It's just, all these things that go into it, and the cost involved is overtime, outside labor, training, not working up to full potential, having to have more people on the staff because they can't work at full potential or they're not ready. All these things, plus more absenteeism, workman's comp, theft, all those things are higher. So your, let's put it this way. Your appreciation of the staff, which is a big deal coming up, especially with the team member appreciation fund. But more importantly, the money is nice, and it's a very important thing for the team members because it allows them to buy Christmas presents and things that are very expensive in this inflationary times. But more importantly than that, money's fine, but you are kind and nice to our team members, and that matters. That matters a lot. You're not rude to them. You're not mean to them. When things go wrong, you don't take it out on them. Take it out on me, whatever it is. So you have created a warm environment for them to flourish in. So please keep it up. I thank you. But it was a great score, and I just wanted to, it's a huge. We couldn't do it without you. That doesn't mean you get to choose the paint color. Okay, that's not happening. So, in about 23 minutes and 7 seconds, there's going to be some residents up here discussing how you can contribute to the team member appreciation fund, which is a big deal, and the impact it has on some of our team members. So that's in 22 minutes now. Okay, next. I love that. Is Ruby? Is that you? I'm sorry. You criticize in private, right? No. Anyway. So, but it's a good jingle. So the pool, for those of you who are watching, where's Sue? No pool questions for Sue. Sue is not allowed to have any pool questions. Anyway, so they started to jackhammer the bottom of the pool. If you've seen it, hopefully it didn't kick up too much dust. And also when they'll start doing the decking as well. But as they were, hitting into the core of it, I don't know if you saw, it's in pretty bad shape. So if you look at what's underneath there and the rebar and everything else, it was an accident, not an accident waiting to happen, but I wasn't going to spend all this money on fixing or putting a Band-Aid on something and then having it fail. It's had a very good, useful life of 35 years, but after a certain amount of time, concrete and water don't mix. They just don't. And then you put in chlorine and all the other factors, it eats away at the pool. So this type of work needs to be done. And the good news, because of our new residents who are among you, we have the funds to do that work. So the pool is on schedule. I know it is in fits and starts because there's different people doing different things at different times, but the pool is on track. I still think we're going to be open by January, February, and ready for spring. And the painting will be done about the same time and will be beautiful for the springtime. Any pool questions except for Sue? I don't know, Lynn. Okay, maybe. Go ahead.
Are they taking out the whole pool or just the bottom and repairing that and then doing other work? Because they were buffing the sides and the tiles, and I was trying to figure out why they were doing that. Is the whole pool going?
Well, I mean, is the whole pool going?
The sides.
The sides, not all of them, but there's going to be all new tile around it. So basically, the bottom needs to be completely redone. Where's Vincent? Vincent, you watching me? I better get my 5 feet. He's worried about the 5 feet being dangerous. I want my 5 feet in the middle. So why is that a problem? Is there anyone under here except for Ruth that's under 5 feet?
Why?
Okay, that's a question.
Yeah. Why do we need 5 feet?
Because there's some people that are taller than you that actually want to
Well,
cool down a little.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of people who are shorter. So
How many people are shorter than 3.5 feet? How many people are shorter than 3.5 feet? Anybody? I know you're close, Ruth, but not. My mom's about Ruth's size. So, is there anyone here shorter than 3.5 feet? That's 40 inches to the uninitiated. Okay, is anyone at 40 inches? I think we're good because there's half the pool is 3.5 feet. So we're an equal opportunity pool, taller and shorter. So some people who are taller want to actually have it come up above their waist. You know, that I'm not afflicted as such, but that's why we're doing it. So, any other pool questions before I move on? Okay, great. Next, we are looking at, because we're running out of common space and we're trying to make everybody happy, we are looking into building another small activity building out in the very corner of our property. So that way, that corner, right by the memory support, you know, outside the little area, there's some trees, the area in that little area over there. We're looking at building a small cottage, smaller home, smaller, well, you know, a cottage looking building that would support some more activities. Because when we lose the area for the billiard room, we're thinking about the billiard room going in there, possibly also maybe the poker table could go there and give more room here. Because now I guess we have 2 poker groups or whatever. So that's growing. So we're looking at building that, and hopefully we can start that very quickly. So that's one thing. If that works, no question yet, Pat, still filling my bubble. If we can make it large enough, also would be able to accommodate art and things like that. So it's going to be an annex building. Yes, Pat. If it's not positive, don't say anything.
Do you want the microphone?
It's just a question that I have, and that is, does it have to be permitted? Do you have to get a permit?
If I want to stay employed, yes, it has to be permitted.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure.
We can't. The reason it's taken so long is that for the bocce court, that little pergola has to be permitted, and it has to have this. And I mean, yeah, the town is upset with us because we didn't permit the gates, which, you know, we did not get a building permit to put the gates in, so I got in trouble for that. So yes. When I go to the bathroom, I have to get a building permit, which is not good. Okay, who's next?
So if it really is nice, you're not going to convert it into another apartment, are you? It will be an activities place.
Ouch. Oh, that just was mean. Low blow from our residence council president. Where's Linda Sampson? Come on. Even she was nicer than that.
You have to take it up with Grant.
There she is. Anyway, no, we will not convert that into, no, what we're trying to do is 2 things. Yes, we are still looking, and we want to be able to build new apartments where the pickleball court is and where the gym is. There will be 10 apartments going up. There'll be a brand new gym on the lower floor of one. There'll be on the roof will be a activities area, outdoor activities area with plantings and grass for Tai Chi and things like that. And the other roof, we wanted to have a regular restaurant, but the weight of it will be too great for the lower level, and it would also do a sound transfer. So again, we want to put grass up there and have like built-in grills and an outdoor bar so you can have cocktails up there, well, whatever. So we want to have more apartments, but also more common spaces. So this will be a common space, which will give us more places for activities and things like that. But also, yes, the goal is still to gain more apartments, which increases our tax base, which helps to lower the fees for you. Yes. It's going to be, the plan is both areas. So the pickleball court would go and the gym would go. It would go up 3 stories and those would be apartments. On the bottom floor of the, where the pickleball court is, that would be where the gym is because the view is so poor there, the carport, and there would be apartments where the current gym is. So it'd be in both locations. Tom?
Is that going to extend out into Autumn Court?
No, it will not. It will have the same footprint that the gym has and the same footprint that the pickleball court has.
Have you laid out an apartment in that footprint?
What's that?
Have you laid out an apartment in that footprint?
I've spent $80,000 on architects, so yes, I have.
And you can get, it's not going to extend into the,
Nope. Because instead of the apartments going back to front, depth-wise, they're going to be width-wise.
and we got walkways and elevators to get up there?
Yep. Not my first rodeo. Where's the pickleball court going to be? What I'm planning to do with the pickleball court, don't let anyone in human good know this. I want to build over, okay, you know, if we can, the fire department will allow us, I want to build a pickleball court over the parking lot that is currently, that was closed for construction. So if I can make it, it wouldn't be the whole thing, but the pickleball court would be half. So you'd build it up over, like it would become like a carport. So the pickleball court would be above the parking. That is my next plan. Yes, Rosie.
How many square feet approximately is this little habitat can have? Because that's infringing on my Great Escape off my patio, which is.
No, that's not going to be anywhere near your patio. It's way in the corner, way in the corner.
Okay,
It
thank
will not.
you.
We will not let you go unescaped.
Because I'm not going anywhere.
That's okay. If I screw this up, I'm going somewhere.
Yes.
So the square footage is probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 square feet, 1,200, give or take. So, Gadilla, only if it's nice.
So you're going to make it the free storage building at the end of a spring court?
Yes.
That will take away all the views for the N building and the M building and the P building to see the mountains and so on.
Okay, so the P building is not going to be affected. And the Autumn Court right now is covered by trees, so you can't see the mountain anyway.
Oh, I do. I
Okay.
do.
Well, guess what? And then the other building, again, you have redwood trees and everything. What this is going to provide us, is an area that everyone will be able to go up and use that third floor area in both locations to have a beautiful place to go and have beautiful views and things like that. So yes, a little sacrifice on your part, which I know you're happy to make for the greater good.
No.
Yes, you are. Cadilla, yes, you are. I know you are.
No, because I like the variation in architecture, that there are 2 stories, 1 storage, and 3 storage. It makes it to a neighborhood.
I know, and I like 3 stories because I get to keep your service fees down. Sorry. And which we'll talk about, Jack. Sorry. Marty.
I'd like to suggest that you rethink the pickleball court. We play pickleball here. It's a good workout. but we really don't play the right rules because we don't know them. The number of
I think
people,
that's a me problem.
I think
Or you.
the number of people who play pickleball here is less than the number of kids who visit pickleball that we started down the street at the park, Blossom Hill Park. They're planning to put in a couple of full-size pickleball courts. So I think that realistically, that if you rethink it and put something else in that this place needs, it will service far more of the residents.
If we could help support building that and get people there, and that's what the residents want, I'm all for that. So I just want to make sure that we are providing everything that people want and it's within close distance. Any other questions about, yes, Mrs. Donor? No, the memory support, sorry, I'm going to answer. The question is, will it impact the memory support? No, memory support's on track to be starting in a few months. That'll be done by April. This other work is probably at least 2 years away. But what I'd like to do is discuss things. And again, I'm going to go into this real quick. Why are we doing this? We are at a competitive disadvantage compared to other communities. Just today, I had a waitlist person pull out because they were able to get a brand new apartment at Saratoga. And the same thing's going to start happening when Meadows opens. We are at a competitive disadvantage of not having enough apartments. They're building 50 new apartments in Saratoga. Then they're going to build 178 in the Meadows. I'm going to go through the math again. If we only have 10 open apartments, that reduces our revenue by $1.2 million. That 90% of our costs are fixed, which means if I have 175 apartments paying the 36 million, or I've got 165, guess what? 165 are going to pay more than the 175. But let's go for the reverse. If I can add 10 more apartments, I have 185 apartments paying fees. And I have brand new apartments and more amenities that people want. This is something we need to do. Okay? Because if we don't, we're going to be in a much worse position. Any questions before I go into the big stuff? This isn't big stuff. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We're not just building apartments. We could build 4 stories and have penthouses on top. And I could sell those penthouses for $3 million each. Easy. We're not doing that. We are using the prime space for common space. So the best views, the best situation is going to be on the roofs of both, which are going to face the mountains, for Tai Chi, for events, for cocktail parties, for outdoor events, things like that. Everyone can enjoy. So it's not just building new apartments, it's providing amenities to you guys to enjoy. So it's a win-win for everybody, but yes, we have to have change. And what I say every year, can we get, we have over there. Every single year we need to build a new model TLG. Every single year. If we keep making a 2010 TLG, people aren't going to come in and plunk down $700,000, $800,000, $900,000, $1 million. They're just not. And then we have 10 open apartments and we have problems. And we have 20 and 30 and 40. Rosewood, one of our sister communities right now, has 40 open apartments. 40. Okay? Last community I came from before I came here had 55 open apartments. 55. Okay. So we don't want to go there, but thank you. I've got 6 minutes, 5 minutes. So budget discussions. Compared to other communities around here, right now, because of the inflationary pressure and the uncertainty on tariffs and things like that, and I will tell you, American companies taking advantage, like with beef prices and other things, we need to, I was hoping to stay closer where we were last year. I think the form is going up 8 or 9%. I think Saratoga's in the 5 or 6 or 7. Most communities are going up very high. My goal again was to stay really close to between 4 and 5. And that looks like we'll be below 4.5. I can guarantee you that. I'm hoping to get a little lower, but we're below that level. And again, the only reason we've had an extremely good year, we should have been able to, even with the cost increases, we should have been at the 37538. This budget is a worst case scenario budget because we don't know what's going to happen. If the tariffs get overturned, we're going to be in better shape. If they don't get overturned, we buy a lot of product, our appliances and everything. Most of that aluminum and steel comes from overseas. It just does. There's nobody doing that right now here. So we're going to be paying a lot more for all the appliances. The cabinetry that we buy right now comes from China. It does. So that's another 40%. But if I buy American, that's going up because it can. So either way, when they say buy American, yes, if you don't have competition from overseas, guess what you're going to do? You're going to increase the price. So we are in that situation right now. So questions about the budget in the 4 minutes I have left. See, I timed it perfectly. Yes.
I think you can cut back on that a little bit by conserving on electricity. I have a question as to why we are using so much electricity that we are paying for by keeping lights on those trees in the Esplanade all night long, blazing away when no one's out there enjoying them, walking around looking at them. They're only impacting some of the people that have bedrooms living on the Esplanade, besides wasting electricity.
If I would say, I appreciate the comment and I understand the electricity is the least of our worries because of our solar panels. Our biggest costs are buying product for the community to run. Food is going through the roof. That's our biggest issue. Electricity actually is going down in price because our solar power. But I understand your point about keeping lights on that don't need to, and I will speak with Vincent. Next question about the budget and why. Yes.
The word that needs to attach to that, security, the lighting on the Esplanade, the lights that we have around our aisleways, our corridors. I think we need the lighting.
Yeah, what she was speaking about is the Christmas trees and things like that. And it's just we put them up for the holidays. We did a little, here's the thing. By having the lights installed now, we saved 40%. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying is why they're there early. By having them put up, not in November, we had them put up in July or August, so they're there. We thought we'd turn them on for nice ambiance. But I understand where you're coming from, but we save 40% on the normal, because everybody else wants it up in October, November, just, whatever. We got it up in July. So we save money. Yes, Sharon.
I think that we waste more money because people leave their lights on all the time because they don't pay electricity bills. And even empty apartments you see blazing away.
I would say, here's the thing. Lighting is not an issue. It is. What really costs is air conditioning, heating and air conditioning. That's the thing that costs, as far as our utility bills, it's that. So anything you can do to keep that when you're not in your apartment or whatever, instead of, so it's like I try to tell my mom that, she comes home for the weekend and I'm like, oh, it's 75 degrees in there. Oh, okay, you're paying for it, Mom. But yeah, it's Bahama Mama. So anyway, yes, that's where you can save money. But utilities are okay. We spend $2.9 million a month on expenses. We're spending $80,000 or $70,000 on utilities. Okay, that's not our issue. Our issue is, beef prices going up 35%. Any of the supplies we're buying, anything for maintenance, things like that, going through the roof, all those things. Yes, Angela.
I'm just curious about water. What's the cost of water? Because I think that's pretty expensive also.
Yeah, the use of water is expensive. I don't think we're abusing or using too much water. I think we're pretty, conserving on water. The biggest issue right now, which we want to change, is I'll be right there, guys. I'm almost done. Sorry. Is the dishwasher we have in the kitchen. To replace it is $270,000. That uses an incredible amount of water and an incredible amount of energy. And switching it over, which means being down in the kitchen, everything, would save more water than if you didn't flush your toilet for the rest of the year, because that water is changed constantly. The water comes in, and then the rinse water goes in, goes out, goes in, goes out. So it's just 190-degree water going 15 hours a day. Think about it. That's your problem. Yes, Jenny.
Is this on?
Last question.
I don't
then
want to
gotta turn-
belabor the point, but you want to save electricity, energy, heating, and cooling. I cannot sleep with my drapes open on my patio door to my bedroom because of those Christmas tree lights lighting up my room. They don't need to be on August, September, October.
I'm right there with you. I thought we had that solved. I asked them to put them on timers for later, so they close off. I will get to it, but yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sorry for that. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to my friends and escape the wrath. Oh, no, is this long? Are we ready? What does that mean? Are we ready? Okay, well then come on up. Hello. Yes, you. We are a comedy show here. It's time to change.
Oh my God.
Hi there. We're here to do a presentation on the Team Member Appreciation Fund. We're trying to help people better understand exactly what it is, how it works, who benefits, what your role is, and mainly we're looking to build a stronger relationship between our staff and our residents. So I'm going to start out with the nuts and bolts. What is the Team Member Appreciation Fund? As you know, we are unable, as residents, we are unable to give either tips or gifts of any sort to our employees. And that's kind of difficult for us because there are times when we'd like to say something more than thank you. So the Team Member Appreciation Fund was established as a way to show our appreciation to our team members. And by the way we do that is through an annual contribution to each team member. And it's a thank you to them. And that kind of a program is normal in communities such as this. It's also normal in other areas where they're heavily serviced. For example, some hospitals, it just kind of depends upon the area. But I think all places such as ours, or most all places such as ours, have a Team Member Appreciation Fund. I remember when Jake and I were touring this area a number of years ago, it was near Thanksgiving, and we saw thermometers in various places that we visited. Who benefits? Here at the terraces, it is our hourly staff, not our salary staff, who are included in the Team Member Appreciation Fund. So no directors benefit from our Team Member Appreciation Fund. They have a different compensation program. And so about this year, about 240 team members will receive a gift at Christmas time, near Christmas time. Some of these people are part-time, and a fund amount that each person gets is based on their contracted hours. That's an even way to do this. It has nothing to do with how long they've been here. It has nothing to do with what their job category is. It's pure and simple contracted hours. So everybody is on this exactly the same basis. What is the basis for this gift? Well, it's for service, for caring, for friendship, for the incredible commitment that our team members make. As Peter said, one of the benefits of us having a great relationship with our team members is that our turnover rate is low. And that's something to really keep in mind. And this is a way for you to show your appreciation, to emphasize that you appreciate the fact that they don't leave, and to build a rapport. A couple of years ago, there was a Zoom call among various human good individuals, different communities, and they talked, it was specifically about the Team Member Appreciation Fund. And in the course of conversation, I was not involved on the call, but various members here who were have told me this. And as part of the call, various organizations told how much they asked. As you know, we have a suggested amount that we give each year for what people might give. And the suggested amount in other communities at that point, ours was $480 a year per resident. In that conversation, we found that a number of communities were asking $1,000 per resident. And that's kind of interesting because our community had one of the lowest asks, if you want to call it. And yet we were one of the most, if not the most affluent community. So and one of our new residents moved in last year and said to me that the community, they had come from another community, and they said that the ask at that community, or the suggested amount, was $1,000 a person. Another new resident came in and said to me, boy, I don't think you're asking enough. I plan on giving more. Well, some of us can give more and some of us can give less. And when we say $750 per resident, we're looking for that to really average out. We're looking at the fact some people can give less, some people want to give less, other people can give more and want to give more. So this is just a suggested amount. Nobody is looking at how much any individual gives, and no one is judging it, and no record is kept here of how much different people offer. So don't think that that situation is different. How do we make our contribution? There are kind of basically two ways to make a contribution. One is by having it deducted or included in your monthly bill, so that when you get your bill each month, included on that is an amount that you determine that you want to give to the Employee Appreciation Fund. This is, for some individuals, a less painful way to do it, as opposed to a single amount. Other people have their financial plan works so that they contribute once a year. If you have it done on a monthly basis, you would need to speak to our billing department. We are going to be sending out a reminder letter with an envelope and a form that if you wish to fill it out, you can fill it out for a monthly amount. The one thing about the monthly amount is that each year as this goes up, because our requested amount is going to go up next year until we bring ourselves in line. Again, doesn't mean you need to give this amount. It's just what a suggested amount. And so you just need to remember to increase your monthly amount if you're based on the year before. If you want the billing department to do a one-time bill for you for your total amount, you can ask for that, the billing department to do that. Or if you want to write your own check or your financial service writes a check, that's another way to do it. So there are several ways that you can give. At this point, we got a kind of an update. Getting an update from Human Good on how much has been collected is not easy. You might remember last year we had a problem with this. It looks like at this point, between people, we sent out a letter in April reminding you about this and telling you about the $750. Some people sent checks in, and some people have monthly deductions. And at this point, the amount collected looks like it's about $20,000. Well, I don't need to tell you that's not going to go very far with 240 employees. So I am assuming that most people have not made their contribution. I would like to think that. We would like to set a goal this year. It may be a pie in the sky goal, but we work better if we have goals, I think, each of us, regardless of what we're doing. So we're setting a goal this year of $200,000. That's a lot of money. And we're also having an informal goal of, wouldn't it be great if we had 100% participation? That means any place from $1 to whatever somebody wants to give. But part of the reason that I decided to do this is because I worked in a place like this. I know how important these contributions to our residents are. I know what it means to them. And I would like to see us have a better understanding of what the ramifications of our contribution is. And I would also like to build our relationship with our employees so that we maybe are more inclined to give, or we better understand. So that's kind of where we are on this. So those of you who are in a position to dig deeply, we ask you to dig deep. Whatever deep means to you, whether it's $5 more a month or $5 more than you would give or whatever, we would just, it's just such an incredible way to show our appreciation to our staff. Yes, I'm going to. They're going to be in your mailbox. It's going to be a reminder letter. It's going to be a form, and it's going to be an envelope with Doug Kuhlman's address on it, because Doug will be tabulating who has donated, not the amount people give, but who we have heard from. So we have an idea of who we maybe could talk to or whatever. Yes. Absolutely. People who are new, thank you, Peggy. That's a good point, because we moved in, for example, in November. So we were too late for that year. So it's the collection year is going to be November 1 to November 1, as opposed to January, because the contributions need to be in by the 31st of October. So we don't have a lot of time to do this. So it's important that when you get this reminder letter, it's kind of short and sweet. When you get this reminder letter, please try to respond to it as quickly as possible. If you have any questions whatsoever, I would be more than happy to answer them for you.
Are these contributions tax deductible?
No. The contributions for these things used to be tax deductible, I think pretty industry-wide. Now they are no longer, because they're considered tips. And I guess the way I kind of approach that is, when you tip a waitress or a waiter in a restaurant, that's not tax deductible. And it would be great if it was. And unfortunately, these are not tax deductible either. That is in the information that I'm giving you, and it's to the terraces of Los Gatos.
So
yes.
I have two things. Number one, when is this distribution made to the team members?
Well, we would like it to be made in November so that they could shop Black Thursday and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to be until the 12th of December. It's given at a pay period. However, we will receive the amounts that people are going to be getting, and we're planning an event where we give them a memo with how much they will be getting.
Thank you. My second thing is, if you go to a restaurant and say have a lunch and you leave $1, you better feel like a pretty big cheapskate. But So if we're looking at $1 a meal, right there, you're looking at $750 a year. And there's a lot of other people besides the food servers that need to be included. So I don't think that you're asking $1,000 is even probably high enough for the person who can afford it.
Thank you, Grant. I appreciate that. I wrote a thing about that last year because I sort of think with numbers, and other people think about individual services that they have or a relationship that they have with an employee or something like that. So there are a lot of ways to think about this when you analyze how much you want to give. And, you know, I think we can all recognize that probably all of us would like to give a whole lot more. Sometimes is that possible? No. And we certainly understand that. This is not meant to be a heavy hit on anybody.
So if someone says, gee, I'd like to give $1,200, but I need to do it $100 a month, when does that $1,200 go into the total $1,200 go in the fund? Does Human Good advance that money?
Yes, Human Good collects that money with the monthly payment, you know, your monthly bill, and they keep a tally, and that money is then transferred to the fund.
But that's not my question. My question is, if I went $1,200, I can afford $1,200, but $100 a month, that last $100 isn't going until October next year.
They have already collected. Have they already collected they've already collected the October funds in our September check because it's a month in advance.
I still don't get it either.
Yeah, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. I want to give her $1,200.
Okay.
Just because you're the only team member right here, right now. Don't get your hopes up. But I can only do it $100 a month. Is she going to get $1,200 in December?
Oh, she's going to get a percent of that $1,200 in December based on how much is collected totally. Yes.
I still don't think you're answering my question.
Maybe I don't understand your question. We
Okay.
can talk about it.
I want to give $1,200, but I can only do $100 a month.
Right. $1,200 a year.
I mean, $100 a month, $1,200 for the year.
$1,200 a year.
Okay. When will that $1,200 go into the fund? Will Human Good advance the money and then start collecting it back from me over that year?
No, it goes into the fund as you pay it. So for example, if you moved in here in,
If you started today, put $100 a month in, they wouldn't distribute it until next year at this time.
Right. But if I put all the $1,200 in, then it would go immediately.
yes, that's correct. Any funds that are either paid in monthly and have been collected for whatever period you've put them in, or any single donation you make, or if people want to make quarterly donations or whatever the deal is, it all will be effective money collected by October 31st of this year will go into this year's funds. Any other questions? So I would like to now ask Wendy Lazar. I'd like to ask Wendy Lazar to say a few words.
I owned a business for 26 years. My customers, for the most part, were really terrific people, and they made my business very successful. Is that better? But it was my employees who kept the engines running. I learned early on, and again, many years later, that I couldn't do everything by myself. I never learned to operate the printing machines and the engraving machines. I learned I could never reach anything 3 feet above my head on the highest shelves. And I was intimidated, totally intimidated by the forklift and the pickup truck. And I never drove either of those. My customer service people worked at putting smiles in their phone voices, staying positive, and not promising date-sensitive goods at certain times. And that's true for Glendale, my business. It's true for Macy's, CVS, whatever, name any business. And yes, it's also true for the terraces. Since Marty and I moved here 6 months ago, we've marveled at the help we've received from people in the many service departments. Help with technology? Sure. Famous, not famous, but unusual piece of art you need help with hanging? Yeah, we can be creative on that. New balcony table. May we put it together for you? That was the best I ever heard. Team members at TLG and assisted living, memory care, and the health center must wear virtual halos as they interchangeably act as both friend and compassionate caregiver, providing comfort and help to residents while supporting loving, concerned family members. Team members here work long, hard hours, and we need to show our appreciation. I love working with people in the dining room. These are the ones I interact with most frequently. I so love to share good news stories, exchange photos, enjoy laughter together. They have taught us new skills. They've brightened our days. They've encouraged us. They've made our lives easier, and they've made the terraces, I think, such a good place to live. Heard the expression, I've got your back? Well, team members here have our backs. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, time and time again. They take care of us in so many ways. We need to return the favor and show our appreciation. Let's remember how and why they made us feel during the year and how much we appreciate them. Author Maya Angelou had a way to say it. People forget what you said. People forget what you did. But people will never forget the way you make them feel. Marty and I are really looking forward to the opportunity to show our thanks to these people by contributing to the Team Member Appreciation Fund. Join me. Join us.
I was asked to say a few words as someone that's been here some time. I'm a newcomer to many of you, but Dolores and I moved here about 8 years ago, and we moved into independent living. And I want to tell you today why I'm going to give to the employee fund, and I think you should as well. We've lived here at 3 levels. First of all, we moved in to a 1-bedroom, waiting for a 2-bedroom to open up, which it did. And then in early this year, my wife moved into the memory care unit, and I moved into a 1-bedroom again. And so our maintenance department has had a lot of time in my apartment. And Daniel has hung pictures in 3 apartments for me. During COVID, many of you were here through that, and for 13 months at first, and then another 2 months later on, our kitchen staff and wait staff delivered bag lunches twice a day to us. And it took a lot of work on their part. And on top of that, our nurses were taking care of people with COVID at a risk to them. And they got us through it. And it was hard on them. It was hard on us, but we worked together on it. Memory care is something else. The folks in there really take good care of our residents 24 hours a day. They take care of their needs, their emotional needs, and their physical needs. And they do a far better job of taking care of my wife than I was able to. So I got to tell you, this is a great place to be. Dolores and I still see a lot of the same faces here that we saw 8 years ago. Folks that are pretty standard here now and become friends of ours, and they're become part of the community. And as Peter said, they have become a part of us, and they like working here. And most of all, they know when we're down. They know when we hurt. They know when we have losses. And on those days that we don't present the best of ourselves to the world, they cut us some slack and let us get away with it for a while until we can figure out where we are. Our reason for moving here was for much of what you just heard. We wanted to be able to live independently as long as we could without our daughters' help in having to put a burden on them. And I think we found it because with both of us, one of us is going to be in assisted living or going to be in memory care sooner or later, and it's a safety net for us. We wanted, in order to be here, it takes 2 employees for every 3 of us. Which, if you ever wondered how you spent your days before you moved in here, now you know you don't have to shop, you don't have to mow the lawn, and you don't have to do all the things that they do for us. And they do enjoy it being here. They like us, we like them, and I think we owe it to them to show us our appreciation. And I hope you join me in contributing to the fund this year. Thank you for listening to me.
We have a special guest sitting with us, Sandra Gutierrez, who, as many of you may know, is in our maintenance department. Our maintenance department couldn't operate without her, and those of us who interact with her are exceptionally blessed. And she wants to talk about this from the perspective of a team member.
So I am nervous. So I might stutter a little. I just started. Okay, so on behalf of the entire team, I want to sincere thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the generous team member appreciation funds you've given us. Sorry, I'm nervous. Annually. For many of us, it truly makes a difference during the holidays. This money not only allows us to buy gifts for our loved ones, but also to add food to the table and share more with our families. Some of our coworkers even send some of their bonus to their loved ones in other countries. Several employees have their wives and children living abroad, and being able to support them in this is very meaningful. Oh. I also have a coworker, Carlos, our HVAC tech, who commutes from Greenfield. So that's a 2-hour commute coming and going. I don't know if you guys were aware of that. Every day just to be here. Just one example of quiet dedication so many of our team members offer. Others travel long distance as well, and this bonus helps ease some of those burdens that comes with that kind of commitment. What makes this gift extra meaningful is that it's not something required, it's something you choose to do. The thoughtfulness shows us how much you care and how much you see and participate the work that we do each day. It's a reminder that our efforts don't go unnoticed. Personally, it touches me deeply. It reminds me of why I love doing this work, not just because the care I give, but because of the care I receive in return. It makes me feel not just like an employee, but like a part of a true community, part of a family. That feeling is rare, and I don't take it for granted. The team members appreciate this fund. It's more than just money. It's a gesture of kindness, gratitude, and love from you all. We work here because we care deeply for you, and to know that you think of us and give us back in this way means more than words can express. We feel seen, we feel appreciated, and most of all, we feel value. That's something no paycheck alone can give. Your generosity touches us deeply and makes the holidays brighter for each of us. And from the whole team members of the Terraces of Los Gatos, thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. We hope this kind of gives you a picture of why we're working harder to do a better job on this Team Member Appreciation Fund. we thank you in advance for any consideration you can offer us. Yes, Angela.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, and another thing is Manny is Sandra's dad. So, so
I don't advertise it.
so we are, I think the fact that we have so many team members who are family members says a lot for this place, because if he had a rotten job, he sure as heck wouldn't suggest his daughter work here. So your contribution, whether it's a monetary contribution or a very easy to say thank you at various times during the year, is really important. But right now, we're entering the period of Thanksgiving, and this is one way for us to share our bounty and say thanks. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're just about all done. Wanted to just open it up. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Sandra, and all the residents that came up and shared their stories. It is very important. So I didn't have a chance to answer general questions, so I said everything I wanted to. So do we have any general questions or concerns or needs? Otherwise, the meeting is over. Anyone? Marty?
I got the thing.
I'd like to suggest that you consider oversight in the garage. If you go to the lower level of the garage, there is an area which is, well, nobody knows exactly what it is, but it seems to be a place where you drop stuff. Various employees drop stuff, and sometimes it's filled and you have to call the staff because you can't get your car in. Sometimes the stuff overflows, as it did the other day for me. So I had, for example, a wheelchair sitting in front of my parking space. I didn't realize how close it was. It's about this far away from where I parked. And so I got up and I moved that wheelchair. Thing must weigh 200 pounds. It wasn't easy. So I'm suggesting that there be oversight over that area in the garage so that somebody knows. Sometimes it's filled up, sometimes it's empty.
Is this stuff, this isn't resident stuff, this is stuff that we're putting down there to
Yes.
store?
That's correct.
Not red, okay.
It's staff.
Okay, I will address it with Vincent and we'll clear it out. No problem at all.
Thank you.
I don't go there that way that much, but Any other questions for today? Any comments? Or we're relatively happy right now? Hold on, got one there back.
I came a little bit late, so this question was addressed earlier. Just tell me that and I'll shut up. But I noticed when they're working on the pool, I know I got here just as you finished the conversation about the pool, but there's a tremendous amount of dust when they're hammering stuff and jackhammering stuff. Can that be moisturized or something to keep it from flying around?
Yeah, we have to talk to them because they should be using a hose to tamp things down, which they're not. So I will address it with them. But yeah, I mean, they should be spraying water so when they do break it up, it's not causing airborne stuff. So yes, I will address it with Vincent as well. Any other questions? So we're good. Everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you for coming. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Thank you.